Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another XD Daily Creative Challenge. My name is Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist here at Adobe, and a big good morning, afternoon, or evening to everyone joining me live. If you are tuning in, let me know. We're on day number 9. I'm always sad when these things come to an end, but good thing for you, we have another one coming up next week. And a big good morning, afternoon, or evening to Santiago and Julia and Tim and Joss and Jack and who else do we have in here? Mohammed, Cindy, Sakin, and Justin. And if you are tuning in live, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm streaming live right now from beautiful and lovely Los Angeles. And I'll be in San Francisco in just a few weeks hosting some awesome Adobe Live stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. And right after this stream, Hillary's coming up. And little birdie may have told me she's going to be reviewing some portfolios. So hop into Discord. I'm going to show you that in a second, and maybe Hillary will take a look at your portfolio. She's a great designer, part of the XD team. Hey, Tori, welcome. All right, let me hop over to my screen. Here we go. And this is the Daily Creative Challenge landing page, which, again, has come to an end, but not for long. On Monday, there'll be kickoff, and then on Tuesday, the new challenge will be unveiled, so stay tuned for that. Hey, Anna and King Fei, possibly? If I mispronounce anyone's name, I do apologize. So head over to behance.net/challenge/XD where you can find out all the information. There is a big blue register button at the top. It went away yesterday, but now it's back, so you can register for the next challenge, which is coming up in just a few days. Hey, Nyasha and Anissa from Los Angeles. Awesome. So every day you're going to receive a challenge. We release them around 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Hey, Peter, welcome. Nice to see you. And you can join us in community chat, which is powered by Discord. And here is our Discord server right here. We've got a lot of different channels. Sam is posting the new challenges every single morning. When we do go live, we post things here. There's some general stuff. And over here, like I mentioned, there's a lovely form. You can fill this form out, and Hillary will be taking a look at some of the portfolios right after this stream starting at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So definitely get in on that. We also have a feedback section. So if you are participating in this challenge or catching up on previous challenges, hop in here and you can post all of your amazing work. I've been browsing through some of this stuff and look at these things. These are really great designs. And if I'm going to try to breeze through today's challenge, and I do have a few challenges up here that I do want to take a look at if we have time, but I'm going to try my best to get to it. Otherwise, Hillary will definitely be looking at some stuff a little bit later. So hop into Discord, have a good time. And in terms of today's challenge, you're noticing that they're not really here, they're missing. But if you scroll down, not only can you see the past challenges all the way till June, but you can also grab this last set of challenges, and today's challenge is right here: to design a HeartBEAT smart watch app that changes songs depending on the user's heart rate. And I think it was Jack who said that, yeah, I wish I had an app like this when I go running. Me too. I'm sure one might exist, but if not, we're going to design one right now. So I'm going to hop into Adobe XD, and here's the template for today. And again, here's the prompt. We've got some lovely scorekeeping sections down here if you want to use time transitions or you're going to animate the heartbeat. You've got some, you can add up your points and have some fun with this. And then we've got some inspiration down here. These are all Apple Watch style apps, but if you want to design for Android Wear or any other smartwatch, you're more than welcome to do so. So let's go ahead and start designing. I'm going to grab my artboard tool, and usually I just click to create an artboard, but in this case I don't want an iPhone artboard. I actually want an Apple Watch or artboard. Words are hard. Or you can go ahead and do Android Wear as well. But I'm going to do an Apple Watch 44 millimeters, and it's going to pop one right there. Now, I may want to start with this, right? But I may want to get a little bit creative. I may want to design inside of an actual Apple Watch. And if I hop over to Finder, I have gone ahead and downloaded a bunch of the UI kits for iOS. And if you don't have those, head up to the File menu, go down to Get UI Kits, and then you can grab Apple iOS, Google Material, Windows, and these also have, like the Apple iOS one has all the files for the Apple Watch, which is right here. So if I go ahead and open this in Adobe XD, it's over here. Let me move this over. We do have, as you can see in a moment, all the different Apple Watches. So I might want to just grab this one right here, or this one here, or any of these Apple Watches. We also have one that's ready for fitness if you wanted to. But I'll just start with, let's say, this one, copy it, hop over to my document, and paste. And now I can just go ahead, and if I wanted to, I can hide any of these layers, or I can delete things. It also comes over with the guides, which is really nice. So I might want to just, hide this for now and just start designing in this section. I might want to hide these pagination bubbles at the bottom if I needed to, but you know what? We're gonna work around this. Apple Watch designs and smartwatch designs are always very simple. So we are going to start very simple. We're going to start by creating some sort of a chart or a line chart for your heartbeat. And to do that, I'm going to grab my line tool over to the left, and I'm going to drag out a line, just like this. Very fancy, but very simple. I'm also going to increase the size of this line, let's say to about 3 pixels, and I may want to also round out the caps so that the edges are not super sharp. So I'm going to click on that. There we go, it rounds them out, and I'm not digging the gray. And I will also note that for watch designs, even though I love gradients and I love bright colors on my designs, you probably want to stay away from that when you're designing for a watch, mainly because of the battery. The battery it drains very quickly on watches, and those bright colors and fancy animations definitely don't help. So stick with, black, stick with little pops of color, but not too much. All right, so we've got our line here, which we're going to use for our chart, which is our heartbeat. And I'm going to show you a few ways to create something like this. The first way is just to simply double click, and you have these points. You can edit the path. I can click a point here, maybe here, here, and here. I'm going to try my best to space them evenly. It's not perfect, but it'll do for now. Then I can just simply drag these over, right? But maybe I want this to be the starting position. So I'm going to leave them, maybe not. You probably don't want a heartbeat that looks like this. That's probably not a good idea. So in that case, I'm actually going to backtrack on what I was about to do. If your heartbeat looks like that, you should probably go to a hospital. So I'm going to just increase this a little bit. So this is the heartbeat over the last, few minutes. And then maybe down below or up top, we might want to actually show what that heartbeat looks like. So I'm going to grab my text tool. Let's say this is 105 beats per minute. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And while I'm doing this, I need some suggestions for songs. I need a slow song and I also need a fast song. So let me know. I'm going to set this to bold and maybe set this to white. There we go. And let's go for what's a fairly slow heartbeat? 75 possibly? Yeah, dead. Not a good idea. So 75, and then maybe over to the right, I'm just going to put beats per minute. I can't believe I didn't catch that when I was planning this. I'm going to start with a flatline heartbeat. It's going to be great. No, probably not a good idea. Maybe drop this a little bit, increase that a little. There we go. Make sure to line everything up nicely and pop this somewhere in the center. Maybe I'll make this a little bit larger. All right. Now, just to get a little bit fancy, you don't want to get too fancy, but maybe I'll add a slight drop shadow, and we're not going to really add a drop shadow. It's going to be more of a glow. So I'm going to set the color to like a red, set the y-axis to 0, and maybe just increase the size and the blur just a touch, just so we have a little bit of glow. There we go. All right, so now down below, we do need a song. So, Perfect by Ed Sheeran. That is a pretty slow song. Thank you. So I'm going to maybe just drag out an area like this, round out the corners, make sure it's centered. And this is kind of where that song title is going to go. And I'll make this, we don't want this to be the focus of attention. So I'll just do Perfect Ed, how do you spell Sheeran? My heart will go on. I love that. Did I spell Ed Sheeran right? I don't know. I don't care. He's fine. Not my favorite, but he's fine. Set this to medium. Now we might want, we have two options. We can either drop this like this and kind of put in the middle. We can also have some sort of an animation go on where it kind of starts over to the side and kind of scrolls over. But for now, if we have time, we'll do that. For now, we'll just leave it as is. Perfect. All right, so we've got the base of our Apple Watch application kind of set up. But what if we wanted to animate this thing? And this is kind of where we have two options, right? So the first option, let me actually go ahead and dive in here, and I'm going to just get rid of some of these elements. Maybe I'll just get rid of page 1. I'll keep the bubbles at the bottom because you can usually slide over to see your distance or that sort of thing. So here are 2 things we can do. We can duplicate this, right? And what we can do is jump in here and really start increasing these values. And again, this is probably over the last few minutes. So maybe your heart rate's really starting to crank up. I should probably leave a little bit more room, but just like that, right? And now we have a higher heart rate. So what we can do now is hopping into prototype mode. Let's go for a time trigger. We can just drag the blue handle from the left artboard over to the right. And I'm going to set this to time. And I'll have the delay set to about 0.6 seconds. And we want to make sure to do auto animate with, let's say, an ease in and out and a duration of, let's start at 1 second and see what that looks like. And now when we play this, you'll notice that the heart rate slowly goes up. But of course, the actual text layer did not move. And for that, we also have a few options. We can either just jump in here and change this to, let's say, 105, right? And I might want to make sure, yeah, that's fine, 105, and I'll just kind of move this over, something like that. And that will essentially do that, right? It looks a bit strange. So in that case, what we could do is also use masks, which we've done before. So in this case, I'm going to delete this artboard just to kind of show you, and we're going to set up a few masks. We're not going to just do one. Let me actually move this up so I have a little bit of room. And for this one, I might want to now curve some of these lines to get a little bit fancier. There we go. That looks pretty fancy, right? And maybe I want to kind of show the progression of the heartbeat. So these will kind of be where it's going to eventually get to, right? And you're going to see where I'm going with this in a moment. Just like that. Perfect. But I may not want all of this shown immediately. So that's kind of where masks come into play. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, draw out an area just like this to make sure it's over top of the entire thing. Make sure it's covering that glow as well. And I'm going to make sure that I have the mask selected and also the path. And with those selected, I'm going to go to Object and then Mask with Shape, which is going to take that path and put it inside of that rectangle. But at first, I don't want all of it displayed. So what I'm going to do is grab the mask right here and just move it over. And maybe I'll want all of it kind of hidden immediately, just like that. So now we have pretty much none of it displayed. I'm going to move it over just to catch that glow, just like that. There's a little tiny bit of glow, but that's fine. And maybe I might also want this to increase as well. Let's start this at 65 or maybe 55, right? And we might also want it to kind of increase to, let's say, 55, and then maybe, which way does it go? 65, 75, and 85, right? I'll drop these down a touch. And I want to do the exact same thing I did just a moment ago. I want to mask just this. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to select the numbers, Object, Mask with Shape. There we go. And now we have a mask ready to go. Perfect. And maybe we want to do the exact same thing here. So I don't know if I saw any fast songs, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to duplicate this. And hopefully I'm not moving too fast. I might be. But I'm going to mask everything in here. Hopefully at the end of this 2 weeks, you kind of picked up on some of these tricks that I've been working on. So we've got the Ed Sheeran song. I'm going to put a much faster song in here, which is, let's see. Josh says Clubfoot. Oh, here, okay. Here, Clubfoot by Casabian. I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna run with it. All right. There we go. So that's also masked. So we've got basically all this stuff masked. And now let's go ahead and create the second state. So we've got our first state, and we might want to create our second. So I'm going to duplicate this just like I did before. And now it's just a matter of altering all of our masks. So 55 is going to be moved. Make sure to select the text layer, and we'll just move it up. So we have now 85 beats per minute. We want to jump in and select our mask for the heartbeat. Whoops. I missed it. Drag this over just like this so it reveals the entire thing. And when it does animate, you're going to see that it kind of looks like it's doing a little wave, which is kind of cool. And then we want to do the exact same thing for the song. So I'm going to grab both of these text layers and simply move them over just like that. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and altered our second artboard, we want to do the exact same thing we did a few moments ago and wire this thing up. So I'm going to hop into prototype mode, select the first artboard, drag the handle over to the second. We'll use the same properties that we did before, a time trigger with delay of 0.6 seconds, but maybe we'll set the duration to like 3 seconds so we can really see what's going on. And now let's go ahead and play this thing. Here we go. Woo! Fancy. And of course, as you're building this out, you can probably think things through a little bit more. You can maybe add some dots to the heartbeat. You can maybe like add some additional information around the heartbeat that shows how many beats per minute, in this area or this area. But let's play this one more time. Let me move this over so we can really see. I'm gonna play it and zoom in. There it goes. Fancy. So as you're increasing your heart rate and as you're running a little bit faster, the song might change to something a little bit more upbeat. So that's pretty much it. Somewhat basic, but I think hopefully you've all picked up on some tips and tricks to really take this to the next level. And that's what I love about these challenges, is that I show something fairly basic during the half an hour or 25 minutes that I have, but all of you go super crazy and creative, and you really take it to new levels. And speaking of that, let me hop over to Chrome, and I want to take a look at some of the challenges. I picked about 5 challenges that really stood out, and let's go ahead and start with this one, which is by Jack, who is in the chat. And this is super cool. I've been following Jack's work for a while. If you haven't checked Jack's work out, dive in there, look at that stuff. Great work. But this is for the bubble tea customization application. And I just love the colors. I love the funness of this app. And Jack has all the artboards here, base size, large, medium, and small. Whoops. Green tea, grass jelly, which is always fun. And the colors are just super nice. And there's a little video. Here we go. I believe there's also a prototype that I'll get to in a second. So you can kind of swipe through the different sizes, choose the base. I love that. Liquid kind of filled up. You can choose the different add-ons and extras. Ooh, and they all fell into the glass. And of course it's what are those glasses called? The the hipster glasses. You all know them. The mason jars. You got to have a mason jar, right? And here's the prototype. So let's go ahead and then click through this if it does load. Ooh, there was even a nice little liquid animation at the very beginning. So we can select our size, small, medium, large. Let's go for medium. We can choose our base. Let's swipe that to green tea. And extras, tapioca. There we go. Super cool. Great work, Jack. This one is from Danning, and this Danning has done the digital diet app. And Danning has put together a nice design system at the top. Very simple, but definitely shows off the colors, the character styles, all that fun. Mason jar, yes. Thank you for all confirming. Wireframes, and I love this. You know, I love seeing wireframes that look like this. These are what I would call really basic, very ugly wireframes, but that's the point of a wireframe. It's not to look pretty, it's really to convey what information goes on each screen, right? And you've got a circle, you've got a bunch of repeat grids, very basic shapes. It doesn't have to be anything special, because if you go too special, if you start designing too much in your wireframes, then it's going to be very distracting. You just want to be able to convey what needs to go on each screen. And then we've got the mockups, which Danning has started to add color. I love the fact that he's added Hearthstone in here. I'm a big Hearthstone player. And then I believe down here there's also a video. So let's go ahead and check this out. So you can sort it by time or usage, today or last 7 days, and the chart changes really nicely. You've got the different apps. You can also click into an app to see more details. You can limit your screen time or turn your screen time on, which is really nice. I would not limit my Netflix screen time. I'm addicted to Netflix. Nobody's going to take my Netflix away. I love that. Nice job. And then, of course, there also is a clickable prototype right here. Let me quickly go through this. We all saw it in action, but I can quickly go through and click on the different things. Time, usage, and everything kind of rotates. There is a little bit, if you take a look here, the text layers do move just a little bit. So maybe keep an eye on those very small details, because someone's gonna notice. So time, what else can I click on? Last 7 days. Click on Netflix. Turn that on, turn that off. Oh, I have to slide it. Whoop, there we go. Super cool. Great job, Danning. And then we've got Mina, and Mina has taken the challenge for designing a presentation timer. Again, Mina has put together a design system at the top. Really nice mock-ups here. Time remaining, up next. Love the colors, looks good. And there's also the leaderboard experience. So it looks like Mina has taken a bunch of the challenges that she's participated in and thrown them all into one file, which is great. You can either break them up into separate Behance projects or put them all into one. It's completely up to you. But there's a design system for each one, and I love this. This is so cool with the background and the leaderboard kind of embedded inside of this 3D perspective mock-up. Colors are really nice, looks great. This one is for the road trip. Love the illustrations. And then we've got the car rental experience. Tesla Model S, great car. And this one is for digital diet. Really nice. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and click through one of those. I think there was one up here. Yeah, or is this just a video? Let's take a look at this. Oh, she's got the masks going on. Very nice. Some timed animations. Super cool. Nice. Great job, Mina. Let's go ahead and check out this one from Jovan, possibly. This is the luxury car rental. Really nice colors. Very minimalistic, but also, it's a fairly dark application, but he used colors to really make it pop a little bit, which is really nice. He's got all the wireframes going on up here, all the prototype wires, which is nice. He's even split up the sections with some of the cards that appear inside of the application. And let's go ahead and click and watch this video. Sign in with Google+, all right. Choose a brand, Lamborghini, great brand. I don't recognize any of that. I probably couldn't even pronounce any of these cards, but I'm sure they're great. Now, I did notice one quick thing when he dragged this up. There was a little bit of, possibly, if I noticed that correctly, or maybe I'm just seeing things. Oh no, there's a little bit of weirdness going on with auto animate, but that's probably an easy fix. Ooh, there's a 360, oh man. He's just taking this to a new level. That's super cool. All right, let's see what else is down here. A few additional screens. So super cool, great job. And then we have one more. This one is from Shreya, who took part in, was this all? No, this is the presentation timer. I love the minimalism of this one. It's just a white background, a little bit of color. You don't want things too distracting when you have a presentation timer. And there's also, it looks like possibly either a landscape mode or an iPad or tablet mode. Oh, and this one is also the leaderboard experience. Same really nice colors. I love that teal. Very minimalistic. This one is the road trip app. Great illustrations. And if you are looking for illustrations, the Undraw plugin within Adobe XD can give you a lot of free illustrations that you can use. And then there's a little bit of video. Ooh, look at that. That is super cool. I love that loading animation. City Center. Really nice. All right. Great job, everyone. So let me hop over to Adobe XD very quickly and kind of recap what we did. So we grabbed the Apple Watch from iOS, the UI kits, threw it into XD. We added a few elements. We put them inside of a mask, and we designed the first state. We designed the second state. And then when we play it, it looks like this. Fancy. So it changes the song as your heartbeat rises. And I'm really excited to see what all of you come up with. I know all of you are going to take it in crazy directions and you're going to get super creative with it. Thanks so much for joining me over these last 2 weeks. We have another challenge starting in just a few days. Stick around. Hillary's coming up in just a few minutes, and she will be reviewing some portfolios. So that's always a good time. So thanks, Ram, and Cars, and Joe, and Anissa, and Jack, and Cornelian, and Tim, and everyone else joining me today. I will see you all very soon. I'm going to be in San Francisco in just a few weeks, and more good stuff coming up. I'll see you all later.
Olives had a major run. Maraschino cherries, major run. No one had a run like limes. No one.